Hello, this is Talon with Old Guy Stuff on Busy Corner Lane, and this video is going to be a tutorial about what I think are the best strategies when mounting a monster. First of all, I'm a firm believer that everybody should play their way. I don't think I should try to change somebody else's way of playing. But if I can open your eyes to a better way that you might not have thought of, then that's a good thing. Okay, that doesn't mean you have to do it, but it's a good thing. Okay, so what we're seeing on the screen right now is a mount on a monster, and this is just a screenshot. And we're going to get the actual video in a moment. But it tells you what the controller commands are and what they do. For example, if I use the right bumper, then I can move the monster. You can actually run the monster from area to area if you want. And I've done that. It's kind of fun. But in a fight, that really messes everybody up because then they have to go follow you to where you're taking a monster. So I wouldn't do that. Your attacks are A for strong attack, X for light attack. And every once in a while, you'll get a thing that says A plus X. And I forget what it's called, but that actually lets you do much stronger attacks. Like you can get the Rathian to do a flip and poison with the tail at the same time, that kind of thing. B is an emergency evade. So if another monster is fighting against you and you're mounted, you can evade or try to. And then Y is launch the monster. Like you can launch the monster into a wall for damage. You can launch him into another monster. Okay, so let's get into some video stuff here. Okay, so in this video, my target monster is going to be the Rathian. Okay, and getting the mount itself is not that difficult. Now, okay, my on-screen commands are going to show up, right? There's another monster in the area. Well, I want the Rathian to get hit by that other monster, so I don't want to attack using A or X, and I don't really want to evade. Okay, so the other monster is attacking and doing damage. Not a whole lot, but it is doing damage. If I'm playing with a team online, everybody on that team can be doing damage to this Rathian. Why? Because the Rathian is pretty much staying still for the most part. Okay. Near the end, I will try to launch into the wall for extra damage, but it doesn't work, but I do make the attempt. So here I'm going up against that monster that had attacked the Rathian, and I'm going to get a mount on this one. Okay. Now, my weapon was hitting for 85, so it's important to know how much damage things are doing. I do like that in this game, but I would prefer this with a gauge and not necessarily numbers that show up like the original Final Fantasy games and stuff. Okay, so this monster slammed the wall at 37. And then he's up and able to fight in 5 seconds, even though it looks like he was tied up. In fact, he's going to stun me. So that's not good. I am stunned, so I'm in trouble, right? So if this is happening online, see, that puts everybody in your team at risk. You immobilize the monster for 5 seconds, having done 37 points of damage because of the launch. And everybody's weapons are probably hitting much more than that. So if you don't move the monster at all, you just sit on him for a minute, everybody gets free hits. That's what I type into the chat window. I'll always say like free hits. So everybody can go in there and just get the hits they need, or if they got a heal or whatever. But don't move the monster. That's my strategy. And somebody was trying to call me out on this, like, launch him into the wall. Well, for 37 points of damage, that's not worth it. Okay, so let's check out another video. So in this part, Mitsuzune is going to be my target monster. And they've been kind of fighting with the Great Wroggi. And Great Wroggi is actually kind of weak at this particular point. But my target is going to be Mitsuzune. So I'm going to ride or mount on a Great Wroggi, and I'm going to use the Great Wroggi to do some attacks for whatever I can on the Mitsuzune. So I'm going to try my strong attack. And I got a 50 and a 26 on that, so that's pretty decent. But now I can ride the Mitsuzune. Now the Mitsuzune, I don't want to attack. I'm not trying to hurt the great Wroggi. He's not my target. So I want the Mitsuzune to be as still as possible so the great Wroggi can get some attacks on him. So great Wroggi's already poisoned him, okay? And he's pretty weak right now, so he's not really getting a lot of attacks in. But if I'm playing with the team online or in local play, they all can be getting free attacks on this Mitsuzune for almost a solid minute. And then near the end of that, when I'm about to fall off, because there is a timer in the bottom center of the screen, and when I'm about to fall off, I'm going to try to launch the monster. That way there's some additional damage. And then after that, I'll fall off. Well, the monster is only going to be incapacitated for about 5 to 10 seconds. But at that particular point, people can still be getting attacks on him if they want. But then right after this time, even though it looks like he is tied up with those white lines, he can still attack. So I'm taking damage if I'm not good at my evasion at the moment, and any teammates are taking damage too. So you might not want, to end your mount early when you can keep him incapacitated for a whole minute almost. Okay, so in this particular one, I've got a Zinogre, okay? And I realize jumping off the Palamute, or a dog as I like to say, does not do a lot of damage, but it's fun, so I do it. Okay, so I'm going to do what most people are recommending here. I'm just going to run him into the wall. R button and Y button, R button and Y button. And I'm going to try to do the footing with the B button, even though it doesn't say it. Okay, so I did that. He took 157 total points of damage if you add it up. And in about 5 seconds, I'm doing as much damage as that. But then I am vulnerable. I am taking hits right here. So anybody on the team could be taking hits at this particular point. It looks like he's binded up, but he's not. So this particular strategy where I want to run him into the wall right away is not a good one, in my opinion, okay? Because my weapon is very weak compared to everybody else in my family. And when we're playing and they call out what their damage is, and almost every time I can see their screen because we got our TV sitting next to each other, they're doing over 100 points of damage on every hit. Yeah, mine is kind of low, but on those 100 points of damage, I mean, in 2 hits, they've done more damage than running this monster into the wall. So if we can hold the monster down for 60 seconds just by riding on him, then that's a better strategy in my opinion, because your teammates are going to be able to get a lot of free hits on the monster. They can heal up if they need to, that kind of thing. But they get a lot of hits that they can do. Right, so now I'm on the Rathian that showed up. And my target monster is the Zinogre. And I did that AX attack on the Zinogre and did that one again. The mounted Punisher, that's what they call it. So that's doing more damage to the Zinogre. So the Zinogre becomes a lot easier to beat because its Rathian is doing a lot of damage to him. Now, if the Rathian was my target monster, I would not be attacking like this. So as you saw in the earlier ones, when the Rathian was my target monster, I did not attack with the Rathian much. I basically just let him sit still and let the other monsters do the attacks. So in this case, my target monster is Zinogre. I let the Rathian go ahead and do the attacks from the on-screen prompts. So you don't have to play my way. Really, you don't. Play your way. But don't try to tell me to do a bad strategy or somebody else, because the person that was saying this is level 200. I'm a level 54 here. So it's not like, oh, I'm really experienced. But I study the game a lot. They were telling a level 400 how to do this, and a level 400 was pretty much telling them off. So the bottom line is, number one, play your way, okay? But number two, if you got a smarter way you can play, why not do it, okay? That's my whole take on it. This is Talon with Old Guy Stuff on Busy Corner Lane. Have a safe, happy, peaceful, wonderful day, and goodbye.